Well, all right now, children, we're back again now. This is part number 4. I'll show you a little bit here. Banjo neck that my dad made. This is I don't know. This is a throwout version. It didn't turn out right, but it's got some pretty inlay in it. But this is what a banjo neck looks like. This is where the fifth key is supposed to go right here. And the banjo first come from the black folks. They brought those over from Africa with them when they came here, and thank God they did, because nothing like good banjo picking. But they started out, them things were played with 4 strings, and then they got into jazz music, and they got into some classical music and swing music, and we called them tenor banjos, and Vega made a lot of them, and then Gibson started making those RB 250s and all the things they play in bluegrass now. But before that, they were just 4 string instruments, and they would either pluck the strings, claw hammer the strings, hammer them out, just whatever sound they could get out of them. I like claw hammer style banjo picking. There's very few people play that way anymore. But there is. You can watch a lot of good claw hammer banjo videos on YouTube here. YouTube's a great place to go and just get lost in the music, and get your mind off your troubles and your problems, and just reflect on God and music, and nothing like it. But the banjo developed into an art form after Earl Scruggs put the fifth string on there and started playing a 5 string banjo, and then Ralph Stanley has his version of that. But Ralph started out as a clawhammer banjo player, and thank God that he developed his form of music. It comes from the hills of Virginia. So Carter Stanley's great lead voice, which is followed up by a lot of country singers now that probably don't even know who they're trying to sing like, but that all comes from Carter Stanley, the old lonesome lead, heartfelt singing, that Carter Stanley did. But I want to talk to you a little bit about a guy that come from Boonville, Kentucky. His name was KASH AMBURGY, and he had a little slogan with his businesses that he had. It's KASH AMBURGY, the old country boy from South Lebanon, Ohio, saved cash with old cash. Cash come up here from Boonville to South Lebanon, and he built 300 or 400 houses, and a creamy whip, and had a lumber yard, and gas stations. But the last thing he did before he passed away, for a lot of years, he took people to the Holy Land tours, and he had Cash's Big Bargain Barn, the furniture store, and had TV commercials all across the country. And one time I was in South Carolina, and I pulled up to a gas station, and a gentleman walked over to me, and he said, "You're from Ohio?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "Where are you from?" Well, I usually tell everybody I'm from Cincinnati, because a lot of people don't know about the little town of South Lebanon. And so he said, "Whereabouts Cincinnati?" I said, "Oh, about 27 miles north of Cincinnati, a little place called South Lebanon." "Oh," he said, "the home of KASH AMBURGY." He said, "My mom in Georgia, she listened to him on the radio for almost 50 years every Sunday morning." So Cash was a country preacher. He was an entrepreneur. He had enterprises all over. And his commercials would be, "Follow the arrows, follow the cars to Cash's Big Bargain Barn, South Lebanon, Ohio, with my darling Mary Lou. 494-2000. Old Cash don't sell, old Cash don't eat. You buy too much, you don't eat." And had a lot of good little sayings, but the spiritual part of KASH AMBURGY was, "Only one life, it will soon be past, and only what's done for Christ will last." And that saying has went on and has been said in hundreds of thousands of churches and among people for the last 50 years or better, I'd say. But Cash and Mary Lou done so much good for the community in South Lebanon and for Warren County and all over. And Cash was a great preacher. Have a lot of respect for KASH AMBURGY in his ministry over the years. his commercials about the Manna appliances, which I don't know if they even make a Manna anymore. But he come from Boonville, Kentucky. His mom and pop Ambergy, his mom and dad, F.D. Ambergy, built the house that I was raised in. And if it wasn't for Cash and F.D. and the family and all the Ambergys, a lot of people wouldn't have had a chance when they came here from the Appalachian Mountains, because Cash would let them move in a house with no down payment, and all they'd have to do is paint or do something for their down payment. And he made a way for a lot of Appalachian people to be able to raise their families. And of course, we had the old mushroom plant in South Lebanon we all worked at as kids, and that helped us along the way. And that afforded people to be able to have a job and get a house and fulfill their American dream. And we need to pray for America, that people can continue enjoying the lifestyle that all of us have got to enjoy. But folks, if you have to live on soup, beans, and cornbread, it ain't all that bad, really. It's pretty good stuff. My sister lives in Texas, and they use a lot of soup beans down there, but they call them pinto beans down there. And she makes some kind of a bean thing with corn and lettuce and salsa, and I don't know what all's in it, but it still gets right back to beans. It's all about beans, children. When you get down to where it's rough, get some beans out and put on some good bluegrass music, and everything will be all right. The Lord will take care of all the rest of it. But we're going to play, I think that's the song number 4 now. We done Caney Creek last time. I'm enjoying this Uncle Pen album. This was my dad's, and he gave it to me, and it's a treasure. This is the Lee wedding tune, and I don't know if we're talking about Lee County, Kentucky, or talking about Robert E. Lee. Actually, Robert E. Lee is a descendant of ours, KILBURN family, and he married into the KILBURN family, and so, or his mom did. I'm not sure which one, but not sure how it all works. But if you look in the KILBURNs of the Civil War, you'll see Robert E. Lee at the top there, and a lot of other KILBURNs that fought in the Civil War. So we're going to run out of time here, and I'm just going on, rambling on like a rambling man. And Lord, don't give your heart to any old rambling man. Just don't do that. That's what Jimmy Skinner said. But next time, in part 5 of this thing, we're going to talk about kitchen picking, and how on Saturday nights we had kitchen picking when I was growing up in our kitchen. We just played bluegrass music and went crazy 4 or 5 hours every Saturday night, and loved every minute of it. Jimmy Skinner would come and see us and play, and all of Dad's friends from Ford Motor Company in Sharonville, Ohio, and boy, just a lot of people's gone on to heaven now. Bill Bryant used to come and pick, and he's gone now. And I'll think of a few more here as we go along and talk about some more. But we'll talk about kitchen picking in part 5 a little bit later on. And we may tell some preacher stories about the false teeth and the baptizing. Just keep that in the back of your head. We'll get to that eventually too as we go along. But this is the Lee wedding song, and I hope you enjoy it. Here we go now. Cut her loose, Mr. Bill Monroe. Let her go, boys. Oh, Lord, children, this is some good stuff right here. I'll make you get up and dance and have a big time right in the middle of your living room. Here we go now. Little slow waltz for you there. You might want to get your sweetie out. If she's already had her shower and things this morning, ready to go, get her out and get her to do a little jig in the living room, little waltz, and give her a kiss on the cheek. Maybe, as Cash Ambergy said, tickle her ear a few hundred times, and just enjoy yourself. And that's some good slow dance music right there. While you're looking at the old banjo neck here. Is that a good banjo picking there? Doesn't that sound good? I don't know the volume ain't as high on that one, that song as some of the other ones, but listen to that good fiddle playing. Isn't that something? That'll make you shout and howdy. Nothing like Mr. Monroe's mandolin picking. I'll tell you that right now, children. About as good as it gets. A lot of heart and soul. Well, we'll see you in part 5 of this thing. Have a great day today. Don't let nothing get under your skin. Don't let nothing bother you. Just stand up and tell the old devil you got your foot on the rock and your mind's made up. There's no turning back for you. The Lord forgives of all sin, and His blood covers all sin, so you can rejoice today and be happy. Don't let nobody steal your joy. These people want to steal your joy. Don't let them steal your joy. You've got too much to live for. God bless you. We'll see you in part 5.